Gwennetta, Wright.
And I'm Deonta B.
And welcome to Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Hey,
and we always get excited about the live edition.
Yeah, I love the live edition.
We can be more chillaxed.
Yes.
And we can really get into what we're talking about.
Exactly. As y'all see, we have our expert tax service shirts on today. We're not business today, but we're representing our brand. Now, but also a sponsor of the show, Expert Tax Service. Y'all know it's tax season. And outside of us interviewing guests so that you can get some good nuggets, we also are servicing everybody nationwide trying to get these taxes in. So if you're looking for a new preparer, a new tax company, contact me and Dee at Expert Tax Service.
Yes, and you know we have 2 locations in Columbus, Georgia, and in Stone Mountain, Georgia. So, and I mean, it's tax time.
It's tax time. And you know you can get your taxes done. You don't have to live in Columbus or Atlanta to get your taxes done. You can actually visit our website at www.experttaxservices.com, and we have virtual tax preparation service for y'all. Gotta get that plugged in. Y'all know these tax inside.
So I'm excited about today's topic.
You know I'm excited about today's topic because, you know, I be thinking about these dreams and inspirations around here.
Exactly, and especially bringing in the new year. I mean, we're talking about selling your inspiration today. And I mean, what do you think about when you talk about selling your inspiration? Because you wear so many hats. And one thing that we realize being in business and entertainment, which now you're in business and entertainment, by the way, is that there are so many essentials that you have to have alongside of you to be successful in those arenas.
Right. You know, selling your inspiration means a lot because what people don't realize, the most people know this. It doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter if you have an organization. It doesn't matter what you're doing in business. You got to sell yourself and you got to sell your vision. You got to be inspiring so that people can buy into what you're doing. And so I just think it's important that people understand what that's all about. And I think today's guest kind of represents that. Very well.
Very much so.
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to get right into it, people. So our first guest is Mrs. Stephanie Wynn and Charles Price. They are authors and speakers, and they are leadership coaches and business development coaches as well. So we're going to see what they're talking about, right? Y'all come on in.
Come on in.
Welcome to the corner.
Thank you.
Welcome to the corner.
Thank you for having us here.
Yes, that's definitely selling the inspiration because they are selling authors.
Right.
I mean, you get no better than selling your inspiration through a book.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And so y'all just recently last month y'all did some tours as far as y'all books go. So tell the viewers, let's jump in there and tell them a little bit about what y'all just did as far as y'all tours. And y'all gonna do some more cities, ain't y'all?
Right. So what we're doing, our title is Author's Ambition, and it's 2 authors that are ambitious about, you know, promoting our book and just pretty much working in our purpose. And my name is Stephanie A. Wynn, and I'm the author of Ready, Set, Go, A Simple Guide to Establishing a Successful Small Business. And Charles and I came together as published authors, and we decided to do a nationwide book tour. Our first city was New Orleans, and then for the first of the year here is Atlanta. So we have more cities to go to. Like next month we're going to LA.
Okay.
So we're just filling out. And Charles can piggyback off that with where else are we going?
Also, I'm Charles Price, and my book is called If You Want More, Get More. And one unique thing about our book tour that we wanted to do was we have what we call an author's talk time. Yesterday we were in Atlanta at Tall's Tale, so we have a setup where they set up some chairs and people can come and ask us questions as we introduce ourselves in our book. So we wanted to add that phase to our book tour. Instead of just standing there signing books, we want to give you an opportunity to ask questions about business, about leadership, and then we can kind of interact, make it more of a conversational event instead of just about my book and I put my name in it. So
that's a good idea.
That was our goal with that. Like she said, we started out in New Orleans. We've been in D.C. She went to Chicago. We've been in Tallahassee. We're here, Atlanta, Decatur. We've been in California. March we'll be in Maryland. April we'll be in Naples. But as well as the books, you know, we do professional speaking. So in between that, like when we go out to California, we'll be at Cal State University. So it's bigger than books. The books was just a way of getting our message to places that we couldn't go. And that's the benefit of writing a book, that your book will go where a plane ticket can't take you.
Correct. I agree with that.
That's interesting. So speaking of the books, okay, so when I look at the titles, Ready, Set, Go, and if you want more, get more.
Yes.
Right? So I know what I think about when I hear it, but I want both of you, and then also you have another book, and so I want you guys to tell the viewers that are watching, what was the inspiration for your books? Because they sound like when you listen to them, it's like you're getting somebody prepared for something to happen.
Right. So for me, for Ready, Set, Go, and that's spelled with an I, and that's for marketing purposes. But for me, what inspired me with writing my book was when I was 23, I started an ice cream shop. And I had no point of reference. I had no resources. All I know is that I wanted to be a business owner. And so I knew the location that I wanted my shop to be positioned, but I didn't know anything about taxes. I didn't know anything about, legalizing my business. And that's important when you're running a business. So I said, well, if I needed help then, I know somebody needs help now. And I've read so many business help, self-help books that give you a little bit over here and a little bit over there, but nothing that is so simplistic. Like, we need simplicity now. Not something that's long and drawn out. People just need to know what I do from A to B to C. And that's why we created a guide, so that they can just, they can start off from the beginning. If they got the thought in their mind to start their business and they can put it down on paper, then they'll be able to go forward with their business.
That's interesting. That's why we decided to start our show.
It is. You need to be educated.
Yes.
It ain't, it's,
Yeah.
How about your book?
And one thing you'll notice, I say this first, when you look at our material, our niche is grabbing people as their beginning. So when people get ready to launch out, we think people need to be educated as well as inspired and empowered to do so. So that's the reason that we wrote the books. My book, If You Want More, Get More, was written from a place of my pain of going after something and not achieving it. Because when you hear a lot of, you listen to a lot of these infomercials and all this stuff, read these books, and people tell you just chase it, go after and capture it. But they never tell you that you have to be prepared for the entrepreneurship journey. There's so many things that happen along the way that'll cause you to quit, detour. You have to be resilient, you have to be fortified. So I wrote my book because I was that guy that had all the ideas. I learned the language, I dressed the part, I knocked on the doors, I incorporated, made the website, and in the end I ended up with nothing. And that's because I wasn't taught and I wasn't prepared for the entrepreneurship journey. I thought a product was going to sell, I was going to be rich, everybody was going to love me, it was going to take off. I didn't understand free before fee. I didn't understand intentionality. I didn't understand what it really means to have a laser focus, not just be focused and dedicated, but to have a laser focus. So my book was written because of that. When you hear the title, If You Want More, Get More, the first thing you say is, okay, yeah, he's telling me I can get more. What I'm really telling you is that you have to be positioned to get more. I have a few chapters like switching gears. I got a chapter that talks about the art of getting it. That there's an art to getting the things that you want in life. It don't just come through prayer. And it don't just come through prayer and hard work. There's a system. There's a functionality that has to take place, and you got to be ready.
You're right.
So my book is launched from that foundation.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
I know, I just got excited when you started.
Right, because the journey of entrepreneurship is really hard, and people just don't get that there's so many parts to it.
Yes.
So the thing about entrepreneurship, y'all talk about building businesses, and entrepreneurship in a way that, most people were like, okay, I just don't want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a successful entrepreneur. So what would your definition of success be? Because everybody has a different definition of success. So how would you define success?
Well, success for me is being able to get through trying moments as you're building. Success, it depends on where you are in your entrepreneurship journey. A lot of people have a profit mindset. Profit is good, but you also want to be working in your purpose. Why are you starting this business? Like, what does it truly mean for you? And even as authors, like, success for me was, at first, I was like, I just want to get my book in Barnes & Noble. But then I started thinking bigger than that. Like, not about Barnes & Noble. I gotta go from having a profit mindset to a purpose mindset, so that I can inspire and impact people more, because the profit will come once you're working in purpose. Then that was success for me. So as I started seeing that I was impacting more people's lives, and it came from a genuine place, that was success for me. And then the profit started coming and the opportunity started coming for me. So that's my definition of success. It's just being able to get out here and just inspire people.
What about you?
My definition of success is freedom and fruitful living. I believe when you get the mentality and you move from a career mind state to a calling mind state, that when you step into the place and you say, this is what I was made to do, you just become successful. Whether you have the finances, but when you get that place mentally, like, this is what I was made to do, you're successful. Because sky's the limit from there.
I hope everybody got that. That was good. Well, both of you. I hope all of you got that, because that was some good information. I heard some things that really stuck out. Purpose and freedom. All those things, fruitful. And I mean, you know, what I got, I mean, walking in it. Just like they said, most people they see somebody else doing something and it's making money. They be like, oh, I want to do that because this person making money from it. But like you guys said, if it's your purpose, it's just going to be all that's going to come. That's what people don't do. They just do it because they see all these people doing it.
Right.
And it's not the right reason. But speaking of, you spoke on Barnes and Nobles. So, I mean, of course, everybody wants to be an author. Everybody. But the hard part is getting your book distributed to major companies like Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. So, what strategies did you use to land those opportunities?
So, during the publishing process, I went through a publisher, and your book has to be positioned in the book distribution system as one, returnable, and it has to be you have to select what areas or distribution systems you want, because you can check all of the major 38,000 retail stores, but you have to go in and select those. It just doesn't appear, even for the libraries. So my publisher went in and she selected those options for me. Now it does take time, because my book wasn't returnable when we published it. It took some time, because I just thought that once my book dropped, I could call Barnes and Noble and I could schedule a book signing. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. And I'll tell everybody, like, set a goal for yourself, because it takes, I believe, 90 days. Once it hits Amazon, it takes 90 days to get your book on the Barnes and Noble system.
That's interesting. I wrote a book. I ain't trying to go to Barnes and Noble. I just stayed on Amazon. Amazon is the thing. Okay, but that's the information. A lot of people do want to be in the Barnes and Nobles and the other bookstores. So you teach leadership skills, right? Ma'am. So tell us, what do you think the future skill set is going to be essential for future leaders and innovators? Well,
I believe that to be a successful leader and effective leader, you have to be the type of person that anticipate problems. I think now a leader is no longer just people with good ideas, people with good ambition that can get people to follow them. You have to be the person while everybody else is completing the task and accomplishing what you said. You got to be the person that already has a solution in place for what's getting ready to fight against you. And when you're that type of person, when you can see trouble coming before trouble comes, then you then become a perfect and effective leader. So that's my thing. You got to be able to anticipate problems. See around the corner. And if you see around the corner, you can prevent a lot of mishaps, a lot of waste of money, and a lot of, hiring the wrong people and losing people because you saw what was coming, you prepared, you put a plan in place, and when it comes, boom, that's what happens. Let me give you a quick example. I got a ministry leadership training. And, all ministries, all organizations, they want to grow. So I asked them a question. Part of my session is, are you prepared for growth? If you got a facility that sits 500 people and you have 1,000 people come that Sunday, what are you going to do? most people are not prepared to handle that. No one sat back and thought about, what if we get more people than we can sit? What's our plan? Do leaders know to get out their seats? Do somebody know to go get the chairs and line them up in the aisle? What's the deal? Do the people who normally come there, do you ask them to remove themselves and maybe go to a fellowship hall and watch the screen? Like, what's the plan? Because if you're not prepared for that problem, then you're probably going to lose those extra 500. So the growth you've been waiting for, you just missed it because you wasn't anticipating that problem. And that goes throughout business and everything else, you know. Some people react, some people are proactive.
Man, that was some great advice. I just have to elaborate on that. Like, that was some great advice, because at the end of the day, that's what we as entrepreneurs do not do, right? They always say prepare for opportunity, right? And then when we start our business as well, we just be putting stuff out there, and all we know is we streaming, oh, I want to make $1 million. Oh, I want to make 6 figures. But did you prepare yourself, like they call it a customer cycle chart for businesses? Like, did you prepare for how are you going to prepare from bringing that customer in to them ending? Did you prepare if you got to do a refund and what that process is going to be like? So I just think that was some good info. Y'all better listen to that.
Especially being prepared for problems.
Right.
Because nobody prepares for the problem.
You know, I be trying to tell y'all. Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
I wish we could talk more about that.
Right.
That'd be another line. So let's go back to the tours, because you both are on tour in different cities, and you have so many people that are authors, but they don't tour with their books. And so why do you feel it's important to tour? Because when I think about tours, I think about the author being more personable with their audience. Okay. So why do you feel it's important to do those things and take it a step further? Because you've written the book, you got the book out there already. Right. But what made you guys say, okay, not just the book, we want to go from city to city? Because, I mean, when you go there, it's a personable relationship. You have to actually come in contact with all of those people that want to buy your book. So why? Yeah.
That's your inspiration now.
So for me, on a personal level, the reason why we needed to do this tour, I felt I needed to do this tour, number one, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease 18 months ago, and that's a digestive disorder. And I promised myself if I was able to land on my feet, that I would get out here and I would impact and inspire people to get more in tune with starting a business. And so for me, this is more of a personal journey for me. And I felt the need that we need to go and flood every city, major city, with our books. Right. And in order for us to get out here, we got to create a presence. Because if you say, okay, I want to be this author that sell 1 million books, but nobody knows who you are. How can they know who you are if they Google your name? Well, who are you? Right. So I think that a book tour for me, it was more important for us to gain more presence, so that we can, over time, we can inspire those who are either aspiring authors or those who are already written a book to get out here, and they got to bring a presence, because just because your book is on Amazon, nobody knows who you are. When you want to go and speak, you know, they'll see, okay, well, they've been here, and here, and they can look us up, and because they're going to do their due diligence. When you call and say, hey, I want to come and impact and inspire your people in your city, they're going to look you up to see what's going on. So that was the reason for me.
Okay, slightly different for me. Still on the same page. You know, we got a book that we're looking to get out this summer called The Business of Authorship. And we believe that anybody who considers themselves to be an author or aspires to be an author, that you are an entrepreneur. And especially if you are, quote unquote, a serial entrepreneur, as I've seen on y'all show, you have to approach it from that mindset. So I'm saying that to say this: true entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs never say this is what I do. They say this is what I'm doing now.
Correct.
And so when you're talking about becoming an author, one portion she's writing in the book is, what is your purpose? Like, being an author is not it for me. Being an author is leverage to get to the very next thing I want to do. So the book tour from that standpoint as an entrepreneur is to create activity, which creates opportunity to do some of the things we want to do. Like, we're going to California, we're going there to do a book tour, but All that activity does is create the opportunity. We were first flying in Friday. Now they brought us in Thursday to go to Cal State University so we can speak about entrepreneurship. So I'm a speaker first, then an author. I'm a speaker who wrote a book. So for me, my book opens the doorway for me to get into organizations and platforms to be able to really run my mouth and say what I want to say. So it's like, what's your purpose? If you just writing a book, just write a book, you want to say, I did this. And like she say, hope to sell 1 million copies, good luck. But you have to have a plan to go with that book. And in order to create the opportunities for the things you want to do, you got to create activity. And book tours create activity. If you're a celebrity, it creates finances. But if you're building your brand, then it creates activity to do other things with it.
Awesome. Y'all gave some awesome nuggets. They gave some awesome nuggets, awesome jewels as far as, really the insight of what it takes to really sell your inspiration. Like what it takes is not just about saying it, it's about actually doing it. Yes. And so before we get out of here with you all, please tell everyone how they can find you and maybe your next tour date.
Oh, okay. So I'm Stephanie A. Wynn, and you can find me at Stephanie, and that's with a PH. A as in Apple, WYNN.com. And our next tour date is February 21st through the 25th. We'll be in LA.
And I'm Charles Price. And you can find me, the best way to find me is on my website, I'mWinningNow.com. Every social link is on there. I'mWinningNow.com. You can find me on the website.
Oh, well, thank y'all so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank
you so much for having us.
I'm winning now.
I'm winning now.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we got to do a little transition, people. We got to move a chair out, so hold 1 second.
It is live, so we got to do the live things.
Okay, you got to move over there. You got to move your chair.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to do some. We're doing some adjustments, people. We're doing some adjustments. Oh, God. I hope y'all don't see my booty. So our guest was awesome. This is Stephanie Wynn and Charles Price. They got some awesome nuggets as far as, how to be successful and run our business. So who we got next, Deonta?
Well, we have the Shanta Lene Hereford. I hope I'm saying that correctly because she has a unique last name. And she wears a lot of hats. She's a talent agent. She does business development and also has a marketing firm. So I can't wait to see what she can tell us about selling your inspiration because she's on the other end. She's assisting people in selling their inspiration.
Correct.
So
come on down, lady.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
So we're gonna jump right on in there. We was getting some good information from the first guest. They gave us some good stuff.
Oh, they were amazing.
Yeah.
They were amazing. They got some really great gems. I was listening in the back room.
So they gave some good information. So I'll start by talking about, you have an ebook called Building Your Brand on a Budget.
Without a budget.
That's right. Without a budget.
Without a budget.
I said,
that's the part we love. Without a budget.
That's what it was, without a budget. So, let's get into that. And I usually ask you about your business stuff first, but since we coming off of talking about the in-depth of business, I thought that would be a good first question. So give the viewers some tips on things that they can do to build their brand without a budget, girl.
Well, the first thing is they can go and get their EIN number from the IRS. That is totally free.
Okay.
One thing that I think a lot of people do is they put off their ambition of entrepreneurship just because they say, well, I don't have the funding right now. So there are steps that they can take, one thing being the EIN, coming up with their business name, creating their business plan, also using some of the online tools that are available, such as Canva. That's also free. Different platforms that are designed for entrepreneurs that will increase their productivity, save them time, and help them to start making money so that they can use that money and then reinvest it into growing their business.
Right. Those were good tips. I use Canva all day.
All day.
I love Canva.
So a lot of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs don't know that there are tools and resources available for them on the web that they can use, for their business.
Okay. Those are good tips.
So the book is a step-by-step guide, takes them from A to Z, on how within 30 days they can start their business, get it going, start making money from it, and they'll be the best to take off.
Well, y'all see, she got a geek out. Tell y'all step by step.
So you, the unique thing about you is you help build brands. You do business development and also marketing.
Correct.
You have tapped into that. And so what are some of the services that you offer?
Well, we offer web and graphic design, printing, photography, videography, social media management and marketing, business development consulting, such as like strategies on how to attract more customers, how to increase your sales, and also branding and personal and business development, because it also starts with the mind. So a lot of the information that your previous guest shared was definitely on point.
Right. I totally agree with that.
I know.
So your company is called Star Factor, that's it?
The Star Factor
The
effect.
Star Factor effect. So tell us, what was the inspiration behind that name?
Well, it was about having a one-stop shop. At the time, I was in entertainment, and I was representing independent artists. And as you know, a lot of independent artists, they don't have a budget. Right. So I taught myself a lot of the different skills that I have now just from trying to develop what they needed to get them to the next level in their careers. So I started building their websites, designing their flyers, writing their press releases, and doing those things. And that led me to start providing those services to entertainers. And when a friend of mine was moving here from Texas, we had decided with her videography and her photography, we would put all those services together to have a one-stop shop. And we would be able to help the unknown artists to become household names, and build their brand.
So she said three things. I had to, they said something that I feel like I got to ring in. She said she named three things that are key essentials, not just for entertainers, but just for entrepreneurs and business people, period. And this is one of my pet peeves because, we do the show, we bring guests on the show, and these are things that you don't have. And even if you're a starting entrepreneur, you can still create these things. You just have to be creative on those particular things. And one was the press kit. Yeah. Right? Then two, you need a professional photo. I don't know if she said that or not.
She said photography.
Okay. Yeah. And then what else she said?
The photography, the flyers, with the branding.
Right. So you need those things because especially if you're trying to pitch yourself to be on a show, pitch yourself to somebody might just want to feature you in the newspaper or something. Like, you got to have those things and you have to be prepared for when somebody's trying to get your opportunity. So those was definitely some great nuggets she shared.
It was. And if all of you were listening, she actually has a company that is providing you, like she said, it's a one-stop shop. I remember when our boutique was a one-stop shop. It's a one-stop shop, meaning that she's going to give you everything that you need for you to be successful, for you to sell your inspiration.
Right.
Basically, because that's what we're talking about. And she's giving you all the essentials. Like you
wrap
said.
it all up into a package. And, branding is key. Because if you're on everyone's feed, if everyone starts to see you, they become familiar with you. The more they become familiar with you, the more comfortable they are with you. Then they feel comfortable spending their money to buy your music, buy your product, buy your service. So I've spent this year and the last part of 2018 just working on my branding because I've spent so much time building my clients' brands and working for them. And I wanted to really kind of build my brand because I have projects that I want to, get out there. So that's what I've been doing now.
And that's something that you just said that was important because many people that are behind the scenes, they for whatever reason now, and I think it's because we're going digital, many of you are ended up in the forefront.
You have
and so many of you
I am not comfortable.
They are not ready to be in the forefront, and they don't realize that they need the same thing that everybody else needs, that your talent need. Then you end up needing it because people like us will say, "Hey, we want to have you on our show," and it's like, well, I've been taking all these photos for everybody else. Yeah. When somebody asks you for a photo, it's like,
I don't have none. I don't have none.
Really? Well, that's how I end up here today. Basically, as an entrepreneur, being in the backdrop, not being on the forefront. And branding has become so key to getting customers, because if they don't feel, if they can't relate to you and just, they want to see what you ate this morning, what you drank for coffee or cappuccino, and you're like, I just want to sell websites.
Exactly.
So this is new for me, and thank you guys for having me here, because it's great practice.
Yes,
she just gave some really good. You just gave some really good information in that one breath,
right?
Because people don't think that. They really don't think that,
right? So, what advice would you give to a startup as far as like? What advice if somebody getting ready to start a new business? What advice steps that you would tell them they need to take? I know you mentioned the EIN number, but what some other advice you might give them?
Well, that's just standard, the EIN, but some very key advice. Number one is to prepare yourself mentally. For artists, it's about separating yourself from the creative mindset to the business mindset. For an aspiring entrepreneur, it's about charging what you're worth. I had done that for years, not charged what I was worth.
I know about that.
For artists, again, it's about staying independent, owning your own masters, not selling away your rights to your products, your musical tracks, or your intellectual property. Another thing is just be prayed up and believe in yourself, because you're going to come against trials. I actually today just came up with the title name for my first speaker presentation, which is From Trials to Triumph, because I've taking punch after punch after punch, but I refuse to just stay down. And so as an entrepreneur just getting into business, you're going to come up against struggles, challenges, and you just have to stay in the game. You have to keep jumping over those hurdles.
Good advice.
That is great advice. So what are some effective strategies that you have used with helping people build their brands? Because like we just talked about, so many people, like they may have a service or something, and they don't understand the branding part. It's like they just put that talent, that product or whatever out there, and they don't understand what strategies they need to actually make it be successful.
Number one is knowing who your customer is, so that you can really speak to them and relate to them, deliver your message. So when I'm working with clients, I always like to meditate on it, because I get, the energy of their brand. And then from there, I kind of go off their personality, and then I start putting that brand together based off of what it is that they hope to achieve and that they want to achieve, and what their brand actually needs. And then I kind of come back with feedback, present them with a proposed strategy of how to get it done. And if they're willing to invest in themselves, then we can take it to the next level.
Oh, sounds great. So tell the viewers how they can find you.
Well, you can visit me on our website. It's The Star Factor Effect, all one word, thestarfactoreffect.com. You can get my free ebook, Building Your Brand Without a Budget, there. Also, if you don't mind, I'd like to invite you and all your guests out. On March 6th, Wednesday, I'm having my Build Your Brand Now networking mixer. I started this last year and it went really good, so I want to keep it going this year. I'm going to do 4 of them this year. So it's Wednesday, March 6th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Build Your Brand Now networking mixer. Tickets just went on sale and they're only $10. And also I'm doing a free workshop January 30th online, and it's for all entrepreneurs from all stages, no matter where you are in your business. And it's the top 10 sites and apps that every entrepreneur can't do without. So definitely you want to sign up for that, and you can sign up for that You can go to my website. It's bit.ly.build your brand now. Yeah, bit.ly.com/build your brand now. Sorry about that.
So that's good, because so many people are like, I want to get out of network.
Right.
I want to get to some free workshops. The key word that she said was free. So I mean, you can't get no better than
$10. That's affordable.
That's almost free.
That's affordable.
Yeah.
Yes. So we thank you so much for coming on the corner.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
You gave some great nuggets.
She did.
We appreciate it. Well, before we get out of here, I'm gonna tell you how to find me. She's gonna tell you how to find her. But we gotta thank our sponsors. First of all, we gotta thank Strategist again for sponsoring this show. We also need to thank our sponsor, I Need Accessories. It's a fast-forward online accessory boutique. You can visit them at www.oneneedaccessories.com, and you also can find them on Facebook at I I need accessories. Well, you can find me, you know, we're getting ready to be out. You can find me, Gwennetta Wright, on all social medias at Gwennetta Wright. You also can visit my website at www.gwennettawright.com. And also make sure that you like our Facebook page if you have not liked it. Go follow us on Instagram and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot of shows on there. How about you?
Definitely make sure that you subscribe to Expert Tax Service because we've been giving out some good nuggets lately on taxes that a lot of you need to be in the loop about because there's so many things going on. Trump made some changes that none of us don't like. So make sure you keep in touch with that at experttaxservices.com and also our Facebook and Instagram. And you can find me at all social media sites at therealdeontab.com. And we out. It's a wrap. We're selling your inspiration. All right. Bye.